The political spectrum. Right on one side and left on the other. Far right to centre to left to far left. The question is what goes on which side and why? I have seen many stupid political compasses. Some, like this one, seems to think it is awfully smart to class right as small government or liberty and left as big government or tyranny. In other words, authoritarian versus libertarian. This is of course completely stupid and incoherent. The libertarian-authoritarian spectrum is a whole separate thing, and when you try to mash it into the left versus right spectrum, you end up with an abomination like this disgrace. According to any half-decent definition, left is progressive and opposed to hierarchy, while right is traditionalist and in favour of hierarchy. These are the best definitions you will find. The more traditionalist and hierarchical an ideology it is, the further right that ideology is. The epitome of this would be something like Nazism or monarchism. The more progressive and opposed to hierarchy an ideology is, the further left it is. The epitome of this would be something like anarchism or communism. The right tends to value things such as tradition and hierarchy, as mentioned above, as well as authority, order, security, and more. The left tends to value things such as progressivism and opposition to hierarchy, as mentioned above, as well as liberty, equality, and more. These are the most serious and best definitions. They are clear and they are accurate. They are useful for analysing politics. They serve a utility. The libertarian-authoritarian spectrum also serves a utility, but the abomination we saw earlier was not that. It was a hellish amalgamation of incoherence. While all these labels do serve a utility, try not to get massively caught up on them, wherever possible. Everyone has different conceptions of what labels such as left and right mean. We should try to promote the definitions laid out here, because they are the most useful, but try not to get too caught up in it. Sometimes we need to talk about actual ideas rather than these labels, which are bound to frequently be interpreted and misunderstood by anyone and everyone. Try to talk about more specific things, it's generally a little bit more enjoyable. My point is that labels and spectrums matter, but politics is about more than a fun game of labels with idiots online. Lay out your ideas, and if someone says you are right-wing or left-wing or whatever, don't get too concerned about it. The ideas are ultimately more important than the labels which people will assign all over the place. Let's do a combination of trying to promote a good definition of left versus right while not getting overly stuck on these labels.